Sweden, Nairobi, Sweden, Plano, Zimbabwe. There we go. All right, Helen in Nairobi. Good to see you. Daniel in Romania. We got Catherine in Sweden. Great to see you. We got Qatar. Very cool. Or Qatar. I'm never sure exactly how to say it. I think it's Qatar. Pam in Nairobi. We got Jolene. Good to see you, girl. Arizona. Peter in Switzerland. Dr. Lucy in Zimbabwe. We got Don in Houston. Ann in Dallas. Jan in Sweden. We have Karen in Sweden. Zambia. This is so cool. Hungary, Romania, Sweden, Nairobi. Awesome. Well, listen, let's go ahead and kick things off. I appreciate you guys tuning in on this Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening, depending on where you are in the world. I'm going to cover, do some training today. And this is, I believe this is going to be a really powerful training for some of you. And so I want you to really focus with me. Focus with me because I just realized my video is not on. Hold on. I don't know why. There we go. All right. Awesome. Sorry about that. So this is going to be a really important training. I'm going to cover some things that I believe are the biggest obstacles for many people and some of the keys that I've learned in my 24 years of being full-time in the network marketing profession. I'm going to cover a lot of the things that have allowed me to become a top earner, and it's what's allowed me to have success every single time for 24 years without fail. And there's really a formula. There is a formula for success. There's a repeatable formula for success. And, you know, one thing that I've been pretty good about over the years, not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I've been pretty good at identifying opportunities. And, you know, when I saw an opportunity about 15, 16 years ago, it was something that I realized was going to be really big. And because I took action on it, it led to creating an amazing lifestyle, an amazing income. And, you know, when I saw what's happening with Viago, the fact that it is in pre-launch right now. We'll launch this company officially on December 3rd. And so there's something really important with that, you know, the newness of something, being part of something early. There's 4 phases of growth that all network marketing companies go through. There's the formulation phase, the concentration phase, the momentum phase, and then the stability phase. And you know, to be part of something early on is important. It's also, in some ways, it's way easier. In some ways, it's way harder because, you know, right now the website, you know, the Viago website, we're technically not even enrolling people on a Viago website, right? Our back office isn't technically Viago yet. All that's being created. And so everything's not perfect. Every T isn't crossed and every I is not dotted. And so right now, if you want to capitalize on this, you really want to have a pioneering spirit. You know, you want to say, you know what, I want to be one of the leaders who was responsible for laying the foundation of something that's going to be great, something that's going to be magnificent. And when we do that and we decide to take massive action when things aren't perfect, we're able to go capture market share that many people are not going to be able to do years and years from now. And so what I believe is true is that 30 days of effort today is equivalent to 90 days of effort 6 months from now. 30 days of effort today is equivalent to a year of effort a couple years from now. And so timing is important in taking action. And what this all boils down to is one of the number one factors. If I look at every $1 million earner I've ever worked with, they share a common thing, is they realize what they have their hands on. They realize they're in the right place at the right time, but it means nothing if they don't take action, if they don't take massive action. And today is all going to be around helping you take massive action. And hopefully removing some of the sometimes mental stumbling blocks that we go through. And I had someone share with me something last night that I was so glad they reached out and shared this to me, because it was just more validation of what I wanted to cover today. And it was basically the phone weighs 100 pounds. And so, how many of you relate to that? Sometimes the phone feels like it weighs 800 pounds. It's just so hard to make the calls. I'm going to show you how to get over some of that, help you, show you how I've been able to get through those obstacles in the past. And, just again, realizing what you have your hands on. And what I want to do is talk about a trip. And how one thing that became very clear for me, I went down to Playa del Carmen. We had our amazing team from Hungary there, Gabor, who's such an amazing leader. I got a chance to hang out with him and have a couple dinners and do a training. And I was sitting on the beach one night, and that trip was 8 or 9, I think it was 8 nights for $800, all inclusive, all you can eat, all you can drink. I mean, we had one meal with, drinks and a sushi restaurant, and one meal that was easily $100 meal anywhere you go. And you get accommodations and all you can eat and drink for that. We had another steak dinner, and it was like, man, this is just all inclusive. So the trips are amazing. If you get on one of these escapes, we know there's going to be a 90% chance you're going to remain a member for life, because you have a great time. You save a ton of money. And we've got a trip coming up. I'm going to talk about it very briefly, just because it is, there's only 1 or 2 more days to book this trip. And so let me share my screen real quick. Nisa, would you allow me to screen share? It took my host rights away. Maybe if you can make me co-host,
Okay,
it'll
cool.
allow me to share. Oh, I see someone's whiteboard. That's interesting.
I've made you co-host. I've made you
Okay.
host.
All right, here we go. Let me share this real quick. All right, and so this is an example of one of our trips. So this resort in Bali, it's 10 days, 9 nights over January 6th to the 15th. And I mean, if you look at what's included, it's funny, they put air conditioning. You would think that'd be natural. But the Iota swing, this is that epic swing where you're swinging out like over the rice fields and back. It's like the most perfect picture in the world. A sunset dinner cruise, you're getting guide services, you're getting a full day tour of the monkey forest, you're getting a lunch with that, you're getting a full day of Bali's rice terraces, which are so beautiful. I mean, you just got to see it. The lake temple, the Rocky temple, you're getting lunch with all the accommodations. And, just looking at this resort, it is so freaking awesome. I mean, it's paradise. And just it's an amazing epic trip. Like, this is a trip you will never forget. I would encourage you to also, since you're going to be there so long, do the rafting trip. You don't think of Bali as great for river rafting, but the river goes through kind of like a mountain in Bali, and there's these big cliffs on either side. I mean, it's just one of those things I will never forget. So do that while you're there. And so $85 a night after points, $85 a night for this incredible experience. And this is what we're delivering for people. And I shared it. I'd never shared this before. I shared it on the presentation earlier. What I regret are not, I never regret going on any trip. I've never regretted it, even when they were really expensive and maybe I had to go in debt to go on the trip. Like, I never regretted it. I regret not going on a trip. I had an opportunity. My roommate and I booked a trip to go swim with the humpback whales during their breeding season. And I backed out at the last minute because I had so much work to do. And my roommate went on that trip, and he came back and he was sharing all the stories. And he was like, I was underwater with this humpback whale, and the whale was looking right at me. And it was this surreal experience where it was like I felt the whale's heart. And I was so mad at myself because I can't even remember the 7 days of work that I did to skip that trip. I don't remember what I did. I don't remember a phone call. I don't remember an email. I don't remember what I did. But I regret missing that trip, and I've carried that with me for, 20 years now, still regretting that trip. And so this is what we have the ability to offer people is a life without regrets. What would it feel like if you had a life without regrets? To me, that's what Viago is all about. It's helping people live a life without regrets. And so, what else? Like, how do we build this business? And this is what my mentor taught me, so many years ago. And he simplified things. I was in network marketing for, several years. I couldn't seem to make it work. And this is what he drew out for me. And for whatever reason, it just made a ton of sense, right? He said, our job here is to do four simple things. We invite, we present, we enroll, and then we train. And these four things have made me $20 million in my career in network marketing over the last 24 years, have made me over $20 million. Just these four things, right? And so let's break down each one. And what he told me was eventually, if you want to make millions of dollars, get really good at these four. But if you want to get off to a fast start and start making money, you could arguably get to a full-time income only doing three. But in the very beginning, just do one. Just get really good at one. And that is become a professional inviter. What does that mean? And here's where salespeople have a challenge. Some people, and I've had this over and over, where someone's like a really talented salesperson and they come in and they enroll people and they can't get any duplication and they can't figure out why. I remember I had one of my very best friends. He's like a natural born salesperson. I refer him to the program. He joins, and this is years ago. And he'd call me up and he'd be like, I got one. And I'd be like, oh, cool. How did you get him? And he goes, man, I just explained how everything worked. I gave him the application. I had him sign it up. Man, they closed on the spot. And I was like, oh, okay, but that's cool. But like, if you just explain that's you being a salesperson, did you show them the video? Well, no, they haven't seen the video. Well, they haven't really seen a presentation. They signed up because of your sales ability. And so this guy went and signed up about 15 people and no one would do anything because everyone thought they had to do what he did, right? And that's what I did in network marketing years before. So there was a time in my network marketing career where I was just so hungry for success. Like I was willing to do the work. I cold called 2,000 people on a cold call list one time. I didn't sign up a single person, but I was willing to cold call 2,000 people. And I got good at sales and I got good at enrolling people, but it was just being a salesperson. See, being a great salesperson doesn't make you a ton of money here. Being a great inviter does, and you want to let something else do the presentation, right? So invite people to see a presentation. So for my personals, how do I present to my personals? The way I present to my personals is I show them a video. I have them go to, and there's a couple different tools that you can use. You can go to, there's a 12-minute video that was around, and I was like, I want to make mine a little more personable. So if you go to viagopresentation.com, if someone can type it in the chat, viagopresentation.com, and it's a 12-minute video of me giving the presentation, right? And so you can refer people. Now, how do you set that up? Right, or how do you invite someone to see a video like that? Now, the other link, if someone will put this in, is africalaunch.com. Recorded a special video just for Africa, africalaunch.com. That one's very specific to the market in Africa. Wanted to create something a little customized, right? And so how do you invite to it? Well, I just remembered this years ago. This is one way that you can do it. And it's what my mentor taught me. He said, I want you to sell my story so that you can create your own story. See, because with my friends, I didn't have any credibility. I had never been successful in network marketing, but he had. He was a millionaire, right? And so he said, sell my story to create your own. And so I would call my friends and I'd say, hey, have you heard of Wayne Nugent? Or, do you know the name Wayne Nugent? And they'd say no, because he's not famous outside of network marketing. No one really knows who he was. But when you say, hey, have you heard the name Wayne Nugent? They immediately are like, maybe I should know him if you're asking, right? So it's almost this subconscious credibility thing, right? I'm dropping my pen. And so they say no. And I say, man, this guy is a multi-millionaire, very successful business person. And I'm working with him. I'm working with him on an idea I want to share with you. When do you have about 15 minutes to check the idea out? Now, what I'm doing is I'm leveraging his credibility. And this is how I invited. I was leveraging his credibility. I wasn't talking about my credibility. Now, the other thing, if you notice, I didn't say travel. I didn't say business. I didn't say opportunity. When you use the word travel or business or opportunity, oftentimes people will prejudge it. And they'll prejudge it based on a limited amount of information. So some rules on the invite. The invitation is only an invitation. It's not a presentation. So if you want someone to see a great movie, you're not going to call and say, oh my gosh, there's this amazing movie. And what happens is these are the characters, and then this happens in the movie. And man, at the end, here's what happens. No, you just say, hey, this is an amazing movie. You should go watch it. It's so good, right? You're inviting, you're not explaining. And so that's the key here is don't explain how things work until they see the presentation. So if you wanted to leverage my story with the video, you could call someone up and go, hey, Miguel, hey, do you know the name Matt Morris? No? Oh my gosh, he's the best-selling author of a book called The Unemployed Millionaire. He's a multi-millionaire, and I'm working on an idea with him. When do you have about 12 minutes to check it out? Or you could say, hey, do you know the name Matt Morris? No? Oh my gosh, he wrote a book called The Unemployed Millionaire as a project I'm working on with him. When do you have 12 minutes? Or are you in front of a computer? Are you in front of a computer right now, right? All we want, if we're selling anything, it's 12 minutes a time. It's the number one thing we're selling. It's not travel. It's not dreams. It's not a business opportunity. It's not lifestyle. Biggest thing we sell is 12 minutes a time. So you could leverage my story if you wanted to. You don't have to do that by any means. You can call your friend up and say, hey man, are you in front of a computer? Hey, are you in front of a computer? Hey, you call your friend up and you go, hey, do you have a couple minutes? I got an idea. Do you have a few minutes? I've got an idea. See, I like the word idea. Why do I like the word idea? Because they don't prejudge it. You don't associate idea with something negative. It's an idea, right? So I'm always talking about an idea. I'm always talking about an idea. Hey, are you in front of a computer? Hey, do you have a few minutes? I got an idea I want to run by you. What's the idea? Pull up your computer. Type in viagopresentation.com. It's going to take about 12 minutes. Now, before you play the video, then what you're going to do is, what do you say before you present? So we've kind of covered invite. There's a bunch of different ways you can do that. You can text your friend and go, hey, I got an idea I want to run by you. When do you have 10 or 12 minutes? Right? When do you have 10 or 15 minutes? You can just send the text, right? I recommend meeting with someone in person, right? So if it's someone you're close to, go to their house. Hey, are you home? Question mark. Hey, you home? Question mark. Go to their house. Bring your laptop. You can do it on your phone. You can pull up their computer. When you get there, you show the presentation. Okay. You can text lunch this week, question mark, coffee this week, question mark, beer this week, question mark, beers this week, question mark. Like, what's the thing that you normally do with your friend? I got to laugh out, man. Thank you. What are the thing that you normally do with your friends, right? Set an appointment. Your enrollment ratio is going to be higher if you're in person. Now, do you have to meet in person? No, not at all. Almost everyone I've enrolled so far, they haven't been in person. They've been on the other side of town or on another country, on the other side of the world. Okay. So hopefully that covers invite. We're not explaining, we're inviting them to see a presentation. Now, before they see the presentation, I want to set you up for success here. And we're recording this. You may want to watch this over and over and over. There's 3 things that you want to cover before they see the presentation. Number 1 is, what is your why? Number 2 is that you're all in. And number 3 is either way. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. So why did you join? You're all in, and it's cool either way. Okay. So I'll break this down for you. Why? So if I'm talking to my friends before they see the presentation, I'm going to say, awesome. Well, listen, I'm going to show you the idea that I'm working on. I decided to get started in this because over the last few years, I've, launched a company in the financial space. It's done really well. Financially, it's been really great, but it just has not been inspiring for me. I don't finish the day charged up. I don't feel like I'm making a difference in the lives of others. And my biggest passion is to travel and to go see the world. I have a mission of seeing every country in the world. And so what I'm about to show you is exactly in line with my life mission. And so this is something I am all in on, like I haven't been all in probably 15, 20 years. So I'm going to have you watch the video real quick. And at the end, just give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. Either way is totally cool. But if there's anyone I'd love to partner with, it's you. Okay, so I'll break that down. I'm sharing my why. Now that's true for me. Yours might be something else. Yours might be, I've been tired of fighting traffic to and from work every day. I've been tired of feeling like I'm just existing in life instead of living in life. I want to send my kids to private school. I want to retire my wife. Whatever's true for you, like what's the why? Why are you doing this business? And share it with them. In many cases, they're going to be in as soon as they hear your why and they hear you're all in. Sometimes they don't even need to see a presentation. They're all in just because you're in, right? And so share your why, be authentic with it, and don't get into victim mode. Don't get into a sob story of, oh yeah, this happened in my life and then this happened. No, no one wants to hear a victim story. But share from your heart what's true for you. It could be an avoidance of pain. It could be a desire for pleasure. Mine is more of like a little bit of avoiding pain, but more about, doing something big in life, okay? And then I let them know, and I say the same thing every time. I'm all in on this. Like I have not been all in on anything in probably 15 years. So I'm going to play the video real quick, and it's totally cool either way. Now, the other thing that you can do, if you're using one of my presentations, we're friends now, okay? We're friends. And so you can, if you want to edify, what I always like to do is edify the presenter. So there's a connection. So they see it's not just like some actor doing it. Hey, I'm going to show you a video. This is my friend, Matt Morris. He's the best-selling author of The Unemployed Millionaire. He's made millions and millions and millions of dollars, and I'm working directly with him. So he'll go through all the information. Here we go. Click. And then have them watch it, right? So feel free to create that connection, right? We're partners. And then you're going to present, right? And then what are we going to do later? Let me pull some of this off. Okay, to clear it up a little bit. Okay, so when the presentation is over, what do you say as soon as the video is over? As soon as the video is over, you're going to say something like, awesome, isn't it? What'd you like best? Awesome, isn't it? What'd you like best, Ann? And then Ann's going to tell me what she likes. And then once Ann tells me what she likes, I'm going to say, do you want to partner up? Sometimes I skip asking what Ann liked best, and I say, awesome, isn't it? Do you want to partner up? Right? Awesome, isn't it? Awesome, isn't it? You want to lock arms with me? And I just ask right away. Here's the key. Don't ask them what they thought. At the end of the video, the easy thing to say is, what did you think? But what we want to understand here is that people make decisions based on emotion more than they do logic. And so they don't really know what they thought at the end. In many cases, the prospect thinks it's kind of cool, but when you say, what did you think? They're going to go into analytical mode and they're going to start analyzing all the details about it, right? So I'd recommend not saying, what did you think? Awesome, isn't it? What'd you like best? Awesome, isn't it? Do you want to partner up? Awesome, isn't it? Are you ready to get started? Awesome, isn't it? Do you see an opportunity for yourself? Okay. I used to have all of these fancy closes. I went through all this sales training. I spent thousands of dollars on all this advanced sales training. And I used to do all these complicated closes and 5-step close and a daily method of operation close and all that. And I find none of that worked as good as just saying, you want to partner up. Okay. Do you have any questions, or are you ready to get started? Do you have any questions, or are you ready to get started? Right? Just something very easy. Easy is what works. If you have to do a 5-step close, or you do this complicated process, they think they have to do a complicated process. This should be a simple business, super simple business, right? So they need to see that it's simple. Okay, so the key to enrolling is what? One word. The key to enrolling is you have to ask. You have to ask them to get started, because if you don't ask them to get started, for all they know, you're just wanting their opinion, okay? And they like it if they know you want to work together. That's why in the 3-step setup, I always say, give me a thumbs up or thumbs down at the end. Either way is totally cool, but if there's anyone I'd love to work with, it's you. Cool? Awesome. Boom. Right? And then at the end, we have to ask. I've had people who've done all these presentations and they call me and they're like, Matt, no one's enrolling. I go, what do you say at the end of the presentation? And I say, well, I ask them what they thought. And I go, well, that's mistake number one. Okay. Stick to the script. Awesome, isn't it? What'd you like best? Awesome, isn't it? Do you want to partner up? Awesome, isn't it? Do you see an opportunity for yourself? Awesome, isn't it? Do you have any questions or do you want to get started? Okay. Say one of those things. Very, very simple. Okay. And then they'll say, I go, well, after they tell you, what do you say? Well, we just talk. I go, well, did you ask them to enroll? Oh, no, I didn't. Well, you need to ask. Okay. Now, once they enroll, what do? We train them. How do we train them? We train them on how to do what? Invite. How do we invite? Very, very simple. We call our friends and go, hey, when do you have a few minutes? I got an idea I want to share with you. Hey, hey, when can you be in front of a computer for about 15 minutes or so? I got an idea I want to run by you. Well, what is it? It's an idea. Can you explain it to me? Of course. When can you be in front of a computer? Can you tell me about it? Of course. It'll take about 15 minutes, right? Don't say no. Can you tell me about it? No. They told me I can't tell you anything until you see the presentation. No. Yes. It's always yes. Can you tell me about it? Yes. It'll take about 15 minutes. Well, can you explain something about it? Yes. Are you in front of a computer? It's always yes. Yes. Pull up your computer. Just pull up your computer real quick. Well, I don't have a computer. Okay. You got a phone, right? All right. Pull up this link on your phone. Viagopresentation.com. If you're in Africa, you pull up africalaunch.com, right? We don't have to get into details because the video goes through the details. So we teach them how to do the same thing. Here's my favorite question. This is what leads to a lot of duplication, especially if you're with someone in person. It works if you're not in person as well. It's my favorite question. You want to write this down. Who can we go talk to right now? Who do you know that we can go talk to right now? Who do you know that we can go talk to right now? Someone write it in the chat if you don't mind. Who do you know that we can go talk to right now? See, what happens is some people think, well, I have to like get trained first and I have to go through, like learn how everything works before I get started. No, not at all. I had a case one day where my buddy, Mark, had set up a meeting at McDonald's for me with some prospect, some guy he met. And Mark was a really bad presenter, but he was good at, finding people to talk to. And so we sit there, we wait about 15 minutes, we got no-showed. And so I was like ready to go back home. I was like, all right, we'll get another, man. Let me know. And he goes, well, let's go find someone to talk to. I was like, okay. So we're in a strip shopping center. The McDonald's is in the middle of this shopping center, right? And so we walk into a used clothing store. There's a guy behind a big glass counter. I'll never forget it. Mark walks in first. I walk in past him and he goes behind the counter. He goes, hey, you open to looking at a business opportunity? And there's no one in the store. And the guy goes, he looks left, he looks right, and he goes, sure, why not? The guy's just bored, right? So this is back before laptops. I mean, there were laptops, but I didn't have one. So it was flip books, right? I just went through this flip book presentation, right? So I go through the flip book presentation. At the end of the presentation, I say, do you have any questions? Is this something you want to do with this? And he says, who'd be good at this is Michael. He's the manager of the furniture store. I go, oh, where's that? And he goes, here in the shopping center. And I go, well, I mean, I know you're here. We'll go present to him for you. He goes, you do that? I go, yeah, for sure. Call him. Tell him we're coming over. So we go present to Michael. At the end of my flip book, I say, do you have any questions? Are you ready to get started? And he goes, I'm ready. Sign me up. I go, cool. So I have him fill out the application. At the end of the application, I go, say, listen, I know you need to be here until your shift ends, but who do you know that we can go talk to right now for you? We'll go present for you. He goes, oh, well, Juan, he's the manager of the extended suites. He's my best friend. I go, call him, tell him we're coming over. So he calls Juan, go, hey, I got a couple guys here. They got a business idea. So we go present to Juan. So I take that application. I go back to Michael, who hadn't signed up yet. And I said, Michael, we signed up Michael. Here's his application. We need to get your application so we can enroll Michael for you. And then Michael set up a presentation. We're going to go show it to Juan at the extended suites. He's like, cool. Signs up. Then we go sign up Juan. He signs up right on the spot. Right? So we got 2 levels in depth. By the end of the night, we were 3 levels in depth because we had a presentation that night. So we got three levels deep in one night. Why? Because he said, go talk to this guy. And then it hit me. I was like, I should ask every time. I don't know why I'm not asking every time. So every time I signed someone up, I started asking, who do you know that we can show this to right now? Right? Who do you know that has 12 minutes right now? Okay. Call them up. Hey, I got an idea I want to run past you. Pull up your computer. Hey, are you home right now? We're going to pop over. Just start asking. It's really as simple as that. Now, is everyone going to do that? No, a lot of people are going to sign up and be like, oh, I'm going to get around to it. People are pros at procrastination. They're professional procrastinators. Okay. Now, there's a concept that that is super powerful, that is going to make you a lot of money, right? Some of you know what I'm about to talk about. It's the law of compressed activity. The law of compressed activity. This is an irrefutable network marketing law. I know because I made it up. Just the words, not the concept. So the law of compressed activity says that the effort that you put in a compressed amount of time, in a short amount of time, is going to pay you way more money than the same amount of effort put in over an extended period of time. So if you enroll 10 people in a month, long term, that's going to make you way more money than enrolling 10 people in 10 months. Why? Because the speed of the group is determined by the speed of the leader. We set the pace for our organization. So if we're out doing a lot of effort and creating results, our team looks at us and goes, I guess I should go create a lot of results, right? And so it is a business of leadership. And what is leadership? And I was so confused on leadership for so many years. I read book after book after book because it was like, I can't figure this leadership thing out. And here's what leadership is. Leadership is just one word. Leadership is example. Leadership is just example, right? I thought you have to have gray hair, which I have gray hair now, right? I thought, you have to be well-spoken. You have to have a track record. You have to, be like my mentor who walk around and he'd just spout these golden nuggets of wisdom everywhere he went, super charismatic. Like I was like, oh, that's a leader. I'm not a leader. Here's when I figured out I was a leader. I got on fire. I just started working my butt off. And I went in and I sponsored 30 people really fast. And what I was doing is I was setting what? I was setting an example for my team. And I was not the presenter. I was not the guy on stage presenting. I was the guy who was the body dragger, right? Hashtag body dragger. I would just drag people to events. I'd drag people to see presentations, but I was not the trainer. I wasn't the guy on stage. I wasn't a motivator. I wasn't a trainer, none of that. But I had the most people at meetings. I had the most people, Why? Because I just invited. I was a professional inviter, and I would ask people to join. And a guy named Michael Keating, he was a Dallas SWAT officer. He comes up to me at the end of a meeting one night, and he goes, man, I want to thank you because I can't tell you how much you inspire me. You're so motivating. And it was such a shock for me because I had never done a public training, ever. And I was like, really? Why? And he goes, just seeing how much action you take, how many people you bring to meetings, and how many people you're putting in the business. Man, it's so inspiring. Thank you for that inspiration. And I was like, damn, leadership is nowhere near as hard as I made it out to be. I became a great leader because I did one word, example, just set the example. So you might be thinking like, I'm not good looking enough, or I'm too young, or I'm too old, or I don't have the experience. None of that shit matters. The only thing that matters is you setting the example. This is what leadership is all about. So the next thing I want to cover is, how do you go full-time? Okay. Now, not everyone wants to be full-time, but if you have a desire to be full-time, what does that look like? And I've been following the same advice of my mentor now for 24 years. I met my mentor when I was 24. I was frustrated. I couldn't make it work. He taught me these concepts that I'm teaching you today. And I don't know why no one taught them to me earlier. The invite, present, enroll, train is so simple. Why did no one teach me this? Why did no one teach me that I just need to invite people and let something else present and then how to close, right? I was in a company where my sponsor in that company, the whole system that they taught was whenever you present, you schedule a follow-up. You never ask someone to join, you just schedule a follow-up, right? They didn't teach you to ask someone to enroll. And so almost no one enrolled. And so I had no results. And it's so funny. Some of you may know this, but I ran a coaching company for a few years. Over the last 4 years, where I haven't been actively sponsoring people in network marketing, I was like, well, I got a lot of knowledge. And I started coaching top leaders in other network marketing companies. And so one of the top earners in $1 billion network marketing company plugged into my training. They paid me, I think it was $12,000 for a year of mentorship. I did a call like this once a week. They paid 12 grand for it, right? And so I do Q&As, and he'd ask me like, hey, I'm just struggling. It just seems like we show a lot of people, but not a lot of people enroll. People are doing a lot of things. And he's got a huge organization, massive organization. And I said, well, what's the process? What do you teach your people after a presentation? And he goes, well, we teach follow-up. So we schedule the next appointment. And I said, well, do you ask people to enroll? And he goes, no. And I go, well, why not? He goes, well, people don't enroll on the spot. And I go, who taught you that? Well, it's just what we've always learned. And I said, all right, this week, I want you to go out to your organization. I want you to do a big team call, get everyone there. And the only thing I want you to do is when the presentation is over, I want you to teach everyone to say, awesome, isn't it? What did you like best? And then ask them if they want to enroll. And he's like, that's totally different than what we've ever done. Our upline doesn't teach that. And I go, I don't care. Just do it. Trust me. He goes, okay. So he did it. The next week he comes back and he goes, oh my God, people are enrolling people on the spot. And I go, I told you. Like, there are other network marketing companies out there that they're not teaching basic fundamental stuff that works. So thank goodness we have this community in Viago with amazing leaders who really know how to do this. Okay. And so I'm going to give you another concept that my mentor taught me. He said, if you put in 30 fast, that'll turn into thousands. The key to getting full time, it's 30. 30 is a magic number. So how do you get full time? This is the focus, 30 personals, right? Sounds simple, but we want to break it down. So if you want to enroll 30 personals, like what's the focus? Well, if you have an enrollment ratio of say 25%, you sign up 1 out of every 4 people that you show it to. In order to enroll 30 personals, how many do you need to show it to? 120, okay? 120 to enroll 30. So here's the problem. What is this number? 120 exposures minus 30 personals you sign up. What's the next number? Someone type it in the chat. Okay, what is it? 90. There we go. Okay, so 90 no's. 90 no's. Here's what I'm convinced. I'm convinced that everyone can do 30 personals. Right? I'm convinced everyone can do it over a period of time. Everyone can do it. Why don't they? The reason why they don't, the biggest reason why they don't is they're not willing to get rejected 90 times. The money is all in the rejection. Okay, my enrollment ratio is typically about 1 out of 3. Now, if it's 1 out of 5, if it's 1 out of 10, you still win. Okay, if you're really bad, maybe it's 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 5. Okay, the numbers work out. I remember Jim Rohn, he said on a scale of 1 to 10, if you're a 1 and someone else is a 10, you still win if you're willing to do 10 times more effort. So you may have to put in more effort over the time. Like I've been doing this for 30 years and I've gotten pretty good now, right? I ask people to join every time. I don't forget. I'm good at setting up the presentation, right? I've gotten good over the years and I still get rejected twice as much as I get a yes. I get 2 no's for every yes, right? So for me, I'm very clear on what I need to do. My goal is 2 no's a day, every day. I've already gotten 1 no today. I got 1 more I need to go get today, right? That's my whole focus, okay, is the no's. It's not that they can't get the 30, it's that they're unwilling to get the 90 no's. And the problem is, and some of you can relate to this, you're like, you get fired up and you're ready to do it, but then you go get 2 or 3 no's in a row and you're like, oh, it's not going to work. Or it hurts, the rejection, like whatever, and then you stop. So how do you get over the phone weighing 800 pounds where you just can't seem to pick it up? Well, the way I do it is I just go for no. I celebrate myself when I get 2 no's a day. I don't celebrate myself when I sign up 1 or 2. Like I had one day where I signed up 2 people and I got 2 no's. I got 2 no's and 2 yeses. I signed up 50% for the day, okay? I wasn't proud of myself for the 2 yeses. I was proud of myself for the 2 no's because the no's are so much harder to get. Like that's where the pain is. That's where the challenge is. We have a fear of failure. We have a fear of rejection, fear of what other people will think about us. We just have to get through that. Where does confidence come from? Confidence does come from success, but more than anything, confidence comes from effort. Write that down. Confidence comes from effort. If you want to be confident, take more effort and you'll be proud of yourself and you'll feel confident in yourself. And I know it beats you up when you get no after no after no after no, but if you keep going, you're going to get really good. You can't not get good, okay? And so for me personally, like my goal is black diamond. This is on my desk, right? This is what I'm focused on and looking at all the time. Black diamond, black diamond. I got a fancy little stand here that I have my black diamond on. I'm focused on it all the time. I'm clear on what I need to do in order to hit black diamond. And I have a clear date. My goal for black diamond is June of next year, okay? 2 no's a day, right? And I figure that I'm about 200 to maximum of 300 no's away from $85,000 per month. I'm 200 to 300 no's away, personal no's away, not team no's, personal no's away from $85,000 a month. Now, your goal may not be $85,000 a month. Maybe your goal is $5,000 a month or $2,000 a month or $1,000 a month or $500 a month, whatever your goal is. You are a certain number of no's away from that goal. The only thing stopping you from hitting whatever your income goal is the number of no's that you have to go through. And what happens is if you go through the no's, it'll shock you. Like I reached out to a diamond in another company and because I'm going for no, I'm cool with getting rejected. My goal is 2 no's a day. It's not like 2 enrollments a day or whatever. It's just 2 no's a day. So I was like, here's a guy this guy's going to tell me no for sure. So I reached out and I sent him a message. He's a friend of mine and he's like the top guy, like one of the top guys in this company. He has an organization of 30,000 people on his team. And he's going to tell me no for sure. I'll get my no for the day. I reach out to him and I go, hey, I know you're locked in. You're crushing it with your company, but he's a network marketer, so he knows I'm calling him for network marketing, right? And I say, but listen, I'm just going all into a new travel company, and so I'd be a terrible networker if I didn't reach out and ask you if you were open. And he goes, actually, I am open. I've always wanted to do something in travel. And so I have him watch the video. He signs up. He signed up. Now, I don't know if he'll do anything. He's not going to leave his income, but he's like, yeah, I'll talk to a few people this week. I thought for sure, I'm just going after no, for sure this guy's going to reject me. He said yes. I had other people, like a good friend of mine. I was like, for sure, this guy's going to say yes. Like we worked together in the past. Like there's no way he's going to say no. And he's like, oh man, I got this new thing I'm working on. I don't know how to work it in. And he's a no. Okay. I thought he would enroll. He said yes. I thought this guy would say no for sure. I was certain he would say no. And he said yes. So we don't know. We just have to go do it. Okay. Next thing I want to talk about, and this may be the most important part. So I know we've been going for a while. We've been going for 45 minutes or let's see, 46 minutes we've been going. So hang with me because this is important. This will change your life. Okay. What I'm talking about is mental conditioning. 90% of this, 90% of your success, it's a mental game. So the most important question, like everything I just shared with you, is really simple. The biggest challenge people have in crushing it in Viago is not overcomplicating it. The invite is simple. The presentation is simple. What we say after a presentation is simple. How we get new people started is simple. The whole process is simple. Okay. So why don't we do it? If we know our dream, if we know we are a certain number of no's away from freedom, why don't we do it? If we know all it takes is getting, 100 no's, and we could be free, earn a full-time income, maybe it's not even, maybe 20, 30 no's, maybe 50 no's away, and you could earn a full-time income and have freedom. It's so simple. Why don't we do it? So we do it because of fear. So our mind isn't wired for success. And so how do we wire our mind for success? So I'm going to share with you how I do it. What you're seeing here is, you see that Matt Morris Manifesto. This is a manifesto that I create for myself. This is what I charge $12,000. People paid me $12,000 and I walked them through how to create this. And I said, read this every morning, every morning, every morning. And it started changing people's career. I had people outside of network marketing that I went through this, and it started changing their life. And so I'm just going to walk you through mine. This is very simple to do. The challenge is it's easier not to do. Okay. So number one, my core purpose, right? And even before that is, I don't know why I do this. It's like my identity. What's my identity? Activist for human potential. Like if I had to describe like what I wanted, like if someone's looking at Matt Morris, like, what do you think of when you think of Matt Morris? What am I proud of about who I am? What are a few key terms? And so one is activist for human potential. I don't know, this sounds fancy. Okay. I help people win in life, right? I'm an activist for human potential. I believe in people. I have so much belief in people. I have way more belief in most people than they have in themselves, because I'm an activist for potential. Like I'm passionate about the potential that lies in people. I'm an activist for that, right? You have like, what do you call it? Environmental activists who are super passionate and they're willing to do crazy things, like, climb up on a tree and live in a tree because they don't want someone to, plow over the tree. That's an activist for forestry, or I don't know, environmental activist. I'm an activist for potential. Okay. Next, family is everything. I couldn't think of a word that family is everything, but when I think about myself and other people think about me, that's what I want to be about, is family is everything. And then entrepreneur and adventurer. So those are like the 4 things, right, that I have. I used to have like 6 or 8 and they all felt watered down. So I just cut it down to 4. Okay. And then what's my purpose? Why did God put me on this planet? And I've gone back and forth in this over the years. And when it has the most power when it's simple. Okay. So my core purpose is helping people win the game of life, to love my wife and kids profoundly, and to experience the joy of God's blessing every day. Now, I read this every day, right? Because I want to be in alignment with my purpose every day. So create a purpose for yourself that's simple. What's something that you can do every day? What's something that would inspire you at the end of your life, right? And mine's very simple. It used to be super long and it was just too watered down. So my core purpose is helping people win the game of life, to love my kids profoundly, my wife and kids profoundly, and to experience the joy of God's blessings every day, right? That's stuff I can do every day. I wake up, I read this, and it's like, I get to love my wife and kids profoundly. I get to experience joy, right? There's joy, and God gives us joy every day if we look for it. And then helping people win the game of life. How do I do that? By going out and sharing Viago with them, okay? And then the next part, it says my life, right? This is where I just write out a description of what I want my life to be about. How do I want to live my life every day? Now, don't copy mine. Don't worry about mine. Don't ask to read mine. Don't ask for a copy of mine, because if you do mine, you're not turned on by what turns me on. You're turned on by what turns you on. Okay. But for me, this is mine, right? And I'm going to not hold back. I am so fucking happy. I wake up every day empowered to live my life, love my family, and help others win the game of life. I feel totally confident, vibrant, and filled with energy. I feel so blessed beyond belief to be married to my dream wife and to be so deeply connected as soulmates. The love I have for Devin and the kids overflows, and I feel like my heart expands every day. I'm inspired to build the biggest travel club in the world and earn millions with Viago as a black diamond. Our organization is growing like wildfire around the world at over 100 new members per day. We are by far the most dominant travel company in the network marketing industry. I recruit like a total fucking savage. I am unreasonable in my willingness to take bold and immediate action, always setting the example for my team. I'm the leader that every other leader in network marketing wishes they could work with. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt I'm one of the greatest network marketers in the world. My mission to see every country in the world inspires me, and it brings out my adventurous spirit. I love the fact that I have close personal friends on every continent. Dev and I have absolute and total financial freedom. Our investments continue to multiply our wealth, and we've secured generational wealth for our family. Thank you, God, for allowing us to live a dream lifestyle, taking an amazing vacation every month and being fulfilled, knowing that we're positively impacting thousands of others. Now, do you think I'm fired up when I read this every morning? I am freaking fired up because I'm focusing on what I want my life to be about. So write something like this. Write out, like, if you could like live whatever your life is and feel whatever you want to feel, write it out. Right? So in this phase, and this will change. This changes all the time. In fact, sometimes I'll read it and I'm like, that needs to change a little bit. So I'm always changing it, right? Everyone's like, well, how do I do this? How do I do this? The rule is there's no rules, okay? Just write it out. Like in this phase of my life, I feel like I need to be a savage when it comes to recruiting. So I use words that trigger emotion for me. Some of you are like, I can't believe he said fucking savage. So this is what's like, it triggers me. Like when I say that word, it triggers me. So don't hold yourself back. Like what is gonna fire you up to live your life? Read it every day. Read it a couple times a day. Read it before bed, okay? If you read it, when I read it before bed, I have a hard time sleeping, okay? Now, next is your why, okay? And here's how I write my why. Why do I work like a savage, okay? Why do I work like a savage? Okay, and these are like the things that I want leverage on myself, because if we're all honest with ourselves, is it easier to be lazy than it is to be in action? Yeah, it's way easier to be lazy. Is it easier to not get rejected than get rejected? Yeah, it's easier for me to not get rejected. I'd much rather not get rejected every day than get rejected. So how do I get leverage on myself to push myself to go take action? And that's why I read this every day. Right? Why do I work like a savage? This is my why. Because Devin deserves a husband that gives her a dream life. Because she deserves to be able to retire, support me, and travel the world with me. Like she has a very successful business and she loves what she does, but she'd rather not do that and travel the world with me. Okay? And I'd rather her travel the world with me, right? Because my kids deserve a dad that inspires them to be a champion and to be able to support them in achieving their dreams, right? So notice these are things, it's more for other people. My why is more for them than it is for me, right? I refuse to let Devin and my kids down because I'm not willing to get out of my comfort zone and do the work. Ooh, right? So that's how I get leverage on myself. If you want leverage on yourself, think about who do you let down for not taking action? Who do you let down, right? For me, it's Devin and my kids. I know I will never regret taking bold and immediate action, but I will regret acting like a coward. See, I read this every day. I was like, yep, I'll regret acting like a coward. Let me make the call. Let me make the call. I was not brought into this life to wallow in the cesspool of mediocrity. That's just a statement, right? God designed me for greatness, and through God's energy, I act with boldness and power. Now, none of these are, I want a Ferrari, I want a Lamborghini, I want a dream house. But if that does it for you, do it. I've had those things. I've made so many millions of dollars. The watches and the cars and the house, that's all cool, but it's not what I gotta do it. What is that thing that makes you, I gotta do it? And if it's a Ferrari, say, I'm committed to having a Ferrari, right? It's okay. Whatever your dream is, whatever your why is, put it down and read it every day. Now, who am I? This is where whatever you say about yourself becomes more true. When you say, I am lazy, you become more lazy. When you say, I am energetic, you become more energetic. So how do I wire myself to become the kind of person who's going to hit Black Diamond over the next 6 months, right? I'm a recruiting savage. I'm overjoyed with happiness. My energy is powerful, authentic, and contagious, and people feel it in their heart. I'm the leader that every other leader in network marketing wishes they could work with. I feel the power of God within me. I absolutely love working and producing. It's my form of art and it's a source of joy. And because of that, I have more endurance than any normal human being. I feel totally confident, vibrant, and filled with energy. So I read this every day. Why? Because this is how I want to program. I want to condition my mind. I want to prime my mind. Every morning, I want to prime my mind. I want to get it ready for action. Okay? And then I have my life's mission is to transform lives as I visit every country in the world. Do you need that? No, you don't need that. I just kind of added the little extra mission in life, right? To transform lives as I visit every country in the world. And I think about, man, if I'd live my life and I see every country in the world, man, that's a life worth living. So what is a life worth living for you? And see, for me, why I'm so excited about Viago is the vehicle to get me to that life worth living. It's in so much alignment. It's why I couldn't quite get myself to go do any other network marketing company that have amazing products. There's lots of great weight loss companies out there and skincare and like all kinds of education-based companies. There's so many great companies out there in the network marketing profession. I just like, at the end of my life, I want to be like, damn, I did it. I had a life with no regrets. And I don't think I'm going to remember the supplements I took or the skincare I put on my face or other people's faces. I'm not going to remember, like, I don't know, learned how to trade crypto or whatever there is to do. I'm going to remember all the vacations I saw, the lives that I impacted, the number of people that I blessed because I helped them live a life without regrets. And so I would encourage you to prime your mind every day. Create those few things. I'll repeat what they are real quick is, a few things like what is the core identity, like 4 or 5 things that describe you that you want to be. What's your core purpose? Why did God put you on this planet? See, when you can live every day in alignment with why God put you here, then that's pretty powerful. And so many people are like, well, I don't know. I've been searching for my purpose my whole life. You don't search your purpose. You create your purpose. You don't find your purpose. You create your purpose. So you get to create your purpose, whatever you want it to be. That's why God put you here. The way I figure it is God is infinite in power. He created us in his image. So in essence, we are infinite in power. So I believe God gives us the power to create what our mission is and what our purpose is and why he put us here. Okay. And then my life, what do you want your life to be about? Okay. What is the identity of your life? Like write down a few paragraphs of how you want to live every day and what you want your dream life to look like and feel like and how you want to impact others. What is your why? Why do you work like a savage? See, to me, I like the word savage, but why I take massive action, why, whatever it is, write those down. What is it that stirs inside you? And then who am I? Who are those? What are those affirmations? You'd call them an affirmation. I am this, not I'm going to be this. I am this. You have to speak it in present tense as if it's already true. The subconscious doesn't understand the difference between a truth and a lie. Whenever you speak to your subconscious, it acts as a command. If you say, I am going to be a black diamond, you're telling your subconscious you are not a black diamond. I want to show up as a black diamond now. I want to act with the authority of a black diamond now. I want to walk, talk, eat, sleep, and breathe like a black diamond now. So I'm saying to myself, I'm a black diamond already. And then finally, if you want, you can add a mission for your life. That would be like a cool mission that you accomplish while you're alive. So my friends, hopefully you got a ton of value out of this. I am so freaking honored to be here with all of you. I have a renewed lease on life, you would say. Just so inspired to go build this company with you. We are going to build the biggest travel club in the world. We will be the talk of the industry. In another few months from now, we will by far be the most dominant travel company in network marketing. We will get so big, we won't even know who number 2 is. The future is awesome. And if you're willing to go to work right now and go get rejected and go through the pain of all the things that we go through and sacrifice, then you can have everything that you want in life. And so thank you for being here. Let's do this together. I love you. And we'll see you guys tomorrow on the Zooms. Take care, everyone. God bless.